Hi everyone, that's the name of our game. You can always call me Habaji, the host of the Swat on 95.1 Nigeria Info. It takes place every day at 3 p.m. where we get to have all contemporary conversations. If you're something long and gloomy, well, not anymore, because I'm here to make it all bright and sunny. So don't miss education. You don't want to miss out.
This is Nigeria.
To focus on. Okay, this headline is on the Punch newspaper, and it says that the Executive Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Unions on Wednesday suspended the nationwide strike, which is Wednesday night. The assault on the president Adro, and the union said the suspension followed by the NSA Nuribadu. The organized private sector and the maritime operators carpet the NLC and TUC over industrial actions was ill-timed and misconceived. The OPS comprising critical planning noted that the strike would affect the federal government's ability to yearly revenue target. And it was the organized labor meeting which commenced a few minutes past 7, 1 hour, during which various affiliates and states reviewed the outcome of the meeting of the organized labor. And they just thought to bring that in. But this morning focuses on other pressing issues, and one the fact that we have, inflation just rising and rising. I mean, every month when they brings up the statistics or the data, more signs of discouragement. And this look, that comes from when will things change in this country? As obviously things are, pricey, more pricey in the market. Reading about what the governor, the emir, Sanusi said about CBN is responsible for having inflations, those loans that the government during the last administration did not help issues in any way. Okay, that involve a whole lot of explanation to do. Then we need, as just saying it out to the women out there who are listening, is the fact that the prices are further driving inflation to 27.3%. 27.3%, and that is very alarming. Very alarming. And don't come here in Nigeria's inflation rate, to other countries, because those are totally different. I don't know how we manage to do that and say, this and Nigeria that. The popularity on ground, so all man to himself. We're looking at where in Nigeria is totally different from what is up. For example, in a place known as Australia, the UK, because the economy does not have the same numbers. Not even differently. How is our economy thriving? Is the employment rate in Nigeria? How many individuals are gainfully employed and can need and all of that? So these are questions we need to ask and get to answer. Where things are going in the country right now, it's a bit alarming that it is up to 27.33, and with the way just might even further hitting next month, except of course we begin to produce our locally made goods, the naira in the most positive way for it starts growing. If not, since we see dollar-driven economy and a lot of other factors against us, talking about energy, talking about LA and the likes of them, then it does in this trajectory. But then giving you the details of rising food prices, Nigeria has recorded a 10 consecutive rise in inflation to a record high of 27.3 for the month of October. As analysts forecast in months ahead, the figure represents 0.61% points year on year, but 26.72% in September. We talked about this last month too when we tried to look at the inflation that month. So every month might just going higher, and about the actions that inflation rate might even get very high if needful isn't done. MDS, which is in the statistics, disclosed this in its consumer price index report for October yesterday, and food index increased year on to 31.52%. So that's for food alone. Food is about 31.52. But generally, the on average is 26.3. But for food, it has increased 1.52%. So it tells you how incredibly difficult it is to feed and afford food items when you touch in the Tuesday. And honestly, it will not. Every day it's like we go back and increase by another 100 or more. Everything now seems to be within the range of, if you do not have 1,000 naira, you do not some basic things. Basic things for like some who believes that you want to buy. For some people right now, it's a difficult thing for them to buy. Fish that you can buy, some of those smoke that you could easily afford back then, maybe 200 and the likes of them. Right now, you don't have a tax to buy. You do not go near some because nobody will look at you. Egg, that the last time I priced it in the market, it was like 3, egg is 3. And then when you want to buy one on one, it's like plus 100 and something that they call for you. You can think about it. Not basic things. We're not talking about, for example, a pack of milk for the family, you buy bread for the family, you want to buy beverages and other things else. And then you're not talking about bills that you have to take and all of that. These are just things that are rightly in the faces of Nigeria every day have to grapple with. So NBS said of 2023 that the headline inflation rate increased to 27.33% for 2023 headline inflation, which was 26%. Looking at the movement, 2023 headline inflation showed an increase of 0.61 percentage points to September headline inflation rate. Inflation rate declined month on month, 0.37 percentage points to 73% in October from 2.1%. Now, on food inflation, MBS, the rise in food inflation on a year-on-year basis caused by increases in price of bread, which we talked about, cereals, like want to buy cornflakes, you want to buy oats and like them. how much it is right now. In fact, so many people have just sent that breakfast stuff because it's unaffordable for some people. And then you talk about oil, cooking oil, and then potatoes, yam, and all that. Just one yam now, they tell you to bring 1,500 for just one. Think about, you could afford much more than one who offered, let's say, 1,000 or two. So it wasn't like this. But now it's so unaffordable. None of them looking very luxurious and calling you. But the moment you ask for the price, some just walk away because, you are what you can afford. And some people manage just 2, 3, 5 tubers, depending on somebody, It's the same thing. Fish, fruit, meat, vegetable, milk, cheese, eggs, all of them are not in that realm where people can cheat their hands and take it to their family because becoming a very, very commodity, which shouldn't be so. Shouldn't be so in any way. Okay? They say that on a month-on-month, food inflation rate in October 2023 was 0.91%. This was, when you look at it, it's 0.54% compared to the rate recorded in 2023. So, turning around in the negative, creeping in the negative. Okay, so meanwhile, with newsmen in Abuja, the latest NBS figure, spokesman of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Isa Abdul-Mumin, expressed that the low rate of increase in the average from October compared to September was pointed at the bank's monetary policy stance to tighten its monetary market reforms were yielding. I don't know if you agree to that. But in spite of this one increase in the headline inflation, Isa made update that the CN was headed in terms of achieving price stability. To him, available statistics showed that the first of deceleration prices was recorded by and further reform the money market in October had accelerated prices as a substantial drop in month-on-month is recorded in October. So they seem optimistic and say that since the increase as drastic as the other month shows that we're into the realm of some form of ability. I don't know what you think about that. You tell me as to how the CBN so far ever since the coming of the and the tightening or the paying off of debts to the banks and some of the policies we've seen that CBN put in order to ensure that inflation is taken care of, in order that the economy is a bit alive, especially policy, Naira to dollar, flopping and the IPAD and all of that, containing that, and of course, resultant and consequences as is boomerang on the people. So that's what we have. The figures are showing that it slowed down a bit in terms of, inflation rate. But all the same, it has continued to increase on the jet, with food prices really soaring high. And there's one thing about Nigeria, so most of the time it's often postulated. It happened a couple of times that maybe surprises, maybe by reason of some other factors, you find that prices are dropped. But the general notion in Nigeria is that what a price goes up, it never comes down. Okay? Once the price goes up, it never comes down. I don't know how you think true that is. But in the case where, for example, by the end of the year, as was by President Bola Tinubu, that I will just come back working, at least one, in all, where we begin to refine our own crude, working production. The economy is slated to start local production, I think, made in Nigeria goods to other countries, and all the other indices, all those are taken care of. Energy by coming back with refinery, the real functionality of all other private, government-owned and private-owned, we see a compass, and so it reduces the incidence of PMS in the country, thereby Nigerians to pay through their noses the dollar rate. If we begin to refine crude local, then we sell it locally because we're able to, and the price is not as high as it is. Involving logistics, putting in dollar and stuff like that. And then we begin to see a sort of energy crisis because once we get offshore that other byproducts and stuff also will begin to stimulate businesses and a lot of things would begin to settle in. I'm just going to change overnight, but at least you begin to see some sort of changes and this very path which going where people are so necessarily. Do you see chances of food items actually dropping or chances of food items dropping? I'm interested in that because we know major triggers of inflation in this country is monetary policy. How badly the value of the number, because we're such a dollarized economy, important and importing, and the more you import and the dollar's not doing well to the now, you just have to augment, and people have that by themselves. The other day, was speaking with someone who is into exportation of some chemicals, and she was talking about just declare that alone is worth, just declaring alone. I can imagine how much that will be added to how much she wants to sell eventually to the consumers, whether in wholesales or retail. Somehow, yes, recoup. So when you look at all the factors, but then at the end of the day, the question is, what could be the food put in place in this country to ensure that suppress inflation with the way it's going on a month basis, keeps rising higher and higher? What role can the CBN play? Role can the government generally, small scale enterprises, and just on overview? How do we ensure that we step the tide of rising inflation in the country going by the way it keeps going higher? Food alone is over 30 something, that over percent inflation rate, and when you put it together, it's nearly the 30% zone inflation. So let's talk about the things necessarily be put in place to ensure that we stop this, because the more the more hungry people get, and you don't want an angry population. Consequence for that, we've seen nations came out and protested against governments. The price of bread, that was down. Yes, price of bread price of, because we saw what happened in Venezuela and how the economy goes so bad anymore. It was just becoming an issue for them. The economy was actually grounded, So what on the side of the government? So that's where let's add this other issue now as we head to a short while. Wednesday is a back and forth. On cable newspaper reports that LP is saying condition of the cable. Okay. On the cable newspaper that they're not in any merger, but then on the Punch newspaper reported that LP welcomes Atiku's proposal and then also NP's condition. We'll get to talk a little bit as we merge the two trending issues this afternoon. We'll take your calls. Don't forget, we're streaming live on and I don't know if we're streaming on Facebook. I may check that. But you can join and drop your comments and I'll be glad to read them. Stay with me. I'll be back.
Abuja, our mind is always that's. This is Nigeria. I keep.
Hi everyone, my name is Swat, that's the name of the you can always call me Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of the Sun Sound on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Takes place every noon to 3 p.m. Where we get to have a little convert conversations. If your day is long and gloomy, well, not anymore, it doesn't here, make it a light and sunny and strong. It's an indication you want to miss it.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nice. That's it. On one on the cable newspapers and online newspapers, there says we're not in merger talks party. Bureau for National Publicity of the party, a statement said news making rounds that the party's merger discussion is twisted to embrace the Labour Party. And he said kindly disregard the sensational news suggests that the LP is a with a political party. That's what the statement read, and it reported today at 20. Okay. They said it's purely twisted and sensationalized, but to embarrass the Labour Party. That's on one hand. Down to the Punch. Okay, the Labour Party is reported has described between 20 candidates of the PDP Abuja's measure group proposal that should be considered. It's what the Punch reports. Two conflicting reports. It says also that the new Nigeria people could only accept the proposal if Atiku was the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso, from the ruling APC in 2027. Major opposition parties were reacting by to the call by Atiku on Tuesday that should enter a merger to dislodge the APC. Okay, that's it. Let's just go too deep into that or further. Those are, that's some part of the point this afternoon. Just to ship that in. But hey, the economy. Let's look at solutions, how and what the government can do to ensure that inflation, the rising inflation, down before it gets out of hand is a situation Nigerians are unable to feed. Our mostly is even food inflation. This basic food items rather unaffordable for people right now. So federal government and that need to be put in place, like the fiscal policy to come together in order to make things work for Nigeria. The economy begin to see a curve in inflation in that curve. What do we need to do? Let's talk about that. And you can call on 0700 951 0000. You can also dial 80-999-30-137. That is the WhatsApp, and 0959748. Hello, 0700 951. Hello. Okay, that call dropped. Sorry. Let me come to 09597.
Hello, Swat.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
I agree for me.
Thank you.
About this inflation, honestly, I don't know much about economy. There are many factors. Number one, the high as I'm speaking to you now, petrol, that almost common everything benefited from it. Now go to and see queue everywhere. This is a city capital. The capital of the country. When you travel to say they are at the rate of 700 naira per liter. mention of our refineries. We have over 100 and stock in only crude oil. You could give our refinery, if 4 refineries, you could imagine the job opportunity. If the price of bread has been going high every day, price of sugar, when you today, tomorrow you hear different prices, and most of these things are being imported to this country. Sugar, we have arable land. When you travel, if you're going to other places, if you travel to Medugu, if all that they're supposed to plant all these things, due to it, another factor is insecurity. In Niger State, about yesterday or day before yesterday, the bandit community and asked for 30 million phone number that until they paid for them. Do you remember what happened in your State? In the community, they say you haven't been paying tax, and we are picking the one by one. Killing something happened in Kaduna. Do you remember? The community have to gather money in order to pay back to the access to the farm. So these are your factors. And in this country, we don't organize farming. Most of the people that are being produced by these local farmers can't go to their farms anymore. And we're talking about them. If I down in Abuja, I have seen them for one like in Port Harcourt and Lagos, because I have the SDN. When I was in Lagos or in Tibaya, during one tuber, you make price. Now in Abuja, even you now, you are pricing it. There are a lot of factors on this until the result of security. Then come to the issue of power. If you're going to gas, if you're going to diesel, it's running on gen. Do you know how much of buying is about 1,300 on to solve the problem of this sector, security, and otherwise we keep flying higher and higher. Nowadays.
All right, thank you, Salasi. Let's take more callers. Hello. All right, call.
Good afternoon. How about calling you from Google?
Welcome, sir. Go ahead.
Where we find ourselves, most of us to come to power, anybody or agent to bring SOCO to provide solutions to myriad of our problems. Our leaders are vying for or are now occupying political offices, are aristocrats, owner of militaries. So their personal interest is over their interest. Their interest alleviate poverty. It's not to eliminate hunger and totally. We Nigerians, we can be a high cost of green crisis. For now, Nigeria are on the seat of crisis. Anything has gone beyond reasonable price for now. Any essential commodity. I don't know, people are experiencing a lot of countries. And those for businessmen and their food going, now Swat period. They are going on one food market to another over all these food shops. So that they can they'll be selling at a exorbitant price, kind of leadership or kind of country. And our leaders are watching them. They are part of the businesses. They are the owner of the plantation. They are importers of food, this product. And they are making billions, declaring for billions, trillions. Die in hunger. We are hungry. And the kind of patience that they have. We see what is happening because of the rise in price of their local bread. We know what many support. We are being suppressed. We are being allotted by those in government, oil-rich country, so we can't refine oil.
All right, round up.
Even not in Nigeria, where somebody
Thank you so much. I want us to be focused more on, the question I asked, how much more into what direction, what policy drive we want for the economy, for the end that is in charge of the monetary policy, basically on, to drive decent rise in inflation. Because there has to be a solution, right? Something Nigerians cannot continue buying food at this rate. Is there even any hope that food from the country? Really? Because it's a big concern. Like right now, once upon a time, we used to use the coins. We used to have small denomination because they can hand to buy candy. You want to buy something for your child, use a coin and buy. And so it's where the coins became really obsolete. We have coins in Nigeria, but can't use it because, and then like the 5 nairas of this world, 10 nairas of this world, 12 world, 50 naira. In fact, I don't know if there's anything for 50 naira anymore. So you see, we're moving in the wrong direction. The trajectory is in because how do we stop using coins? How do we stop smaller denomination when this is what is in countries whose economies are thriving? You come here and say Nigeria's economy is this and that, and that you can look and tell that what is actually something is really wrong somewhere. Is there any hope that things come down as what must you do as a people? Because it just don't have to. I'm not saying we should be patient, but we have something is happening, right? Because it's getting to or keeps flipping in the negative. So there must be something. Now let's get to talk more. God
bless you, sister. Number one, we need to do is to challenge our leader ourselves, especially with the downtrodden. Look at this. What you are doing, this you spend time implementing about this country. And no, I want to ask Wait, all these people's lives, all these people, where are they? I think we know to the let's start from insecurity. If you want all these people you are asking from the cause of insecurity, they really cannot. My dear sir, if you are not doing much, they are doing much in aspect of elections. That's what happened. That done election, 57 police, monitor election. Why can't those 57 people that the bandits are giving people phone that they come and pay 30 million? That's where we talk about them. They will talk about. Let us know. We will. They are trying, but they do their best. From there, we know we don't have access to them. Let all the politicians who are opposition will leave to meet this president. To let him know you are living life, you are living cocoon that you are telling us to sacrifice. We cannot continue like that when people will enjoy yourself. Look at the other day what is something Nigeria by telling us that we are many of them 30 years ago, 100 million for cars. They are the ones making us about the streets of FCC. They are the cost. Many of us like Mr. Bakas, they are not the company. Don't want this to work. What I was in one of the yesterday, I had to carry this yesterday. Man told me that they just bought on a 1,000 liter with 1 million. He said that in 2 weeks they have to have. If they are not like, if they finish it, another million. I don't want to mention the station. I'm telling you yesterday, yesterday I was suppressing to buy cars. For us, a radio station. And now that was when you are thinking about the issue of a jail yesterday. I was looking. So what we need to do now is to come with enough of lamentation. Going until levels. What we need, the people can come out.
No, Adewumi. Hold on. When you say come sounds like incisive, and I'm not allowed to allow that go on air, please. Let it be like we're insightful. Yes.
What I mean, look at it. Swat, 1,000 tomorrow they will multiply. Today, they not take their account.
But my question, my question was towards what policy drive, what changes can be made, with the now for this thing to go back. That's what I'm asking.
I get what you are saying. We will not listen to you. They know what to do it. Or they will come out and let them do what you want. Are you telling me that you don't know that they're supposed to be Are you telling me that you're not supposed to buy motor at 1 million? I will tell you, you're supposed to use 1.5 billion. You're supposed to use how many years to fit? How many years will you use? You have the body Mr. Room sleeping. That's why what you to go and say. No, they will continue listening on their
But you do that. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. No, it's fine. No, don't worry. You can. I wanted to say your representatives. Right now, as it is, they're viewing, their representatives might not necessarily the good candidates to say, well, what the citizens want, because they are also within of what Nigerians make reference to as insensitivity of the government. I mean, talking about millions of naira and hundreds of millions, to buy just one car for them, or I don't know, really thousands of that car, what they would do with. But I don't know, But that's what we have planned for citizens to raise their grievances. Of course, so many other platforms shall mix them. Right, let's continue with our conversation. Let me read up the messages before. This one is from Big Sachika. He said, typical Nigerian person will be saying, by this statement, we all know that we are dissolved. If we continue to relax without protesting, surviving this country anymore, we can't rant as much. If we don't constantly protest against this abnormality, we'll suffer till every Nigerian gets extinct. That can be made is to change the people in government with who have the interests of Nigeria. Well, that happens only election years, right? And we already had an election in this year. We're still 2023. He's saying, it's like I said, okay, yeah, we talk about it's a right for every person to protest very inconveniencing, happening. But then there are legitimate ways to go about it. I was trying to say, hey, come out. Some people might fall to being going out and then some disorder and that thing, that government would and basically we're trying to show that we manage, because the weather to manage things we see on air, so it doesn't escalate. It's not a desire for anything to escalate. So consideration has to be put in the nearance. Okay. Somebody say hello. Hello. Sorry, going through. Hello. Yes, afternoon. Yeah, welcome.
My name is Chris. I'm coming from Lee.
Oh, Chris.
Okay. Yeah, I think the labor organization, the strike, that have been, one of the issues, reading out the other side. They have an agreement with the federal government by, reduce the VAT on diesel. That is one of the sensitive the transportation of these goods and services. And there is reduction in all those stuff, and it falls down the price, a reasonable level where the downtrodden, as I can actually. But I would say that it's right time we learn to be the Korea, countries that will looking a better way. Because as it is now, it looks to me totally we are just in group. You can see the way I'm discussing the parliament, the way government or the government officials are doing in this country. It seems this country is not going to make any change for that matter. I also like the aspirants like
Salasi.
Modern name. Yes. And I'm back from that, people like Adewumi. Look at this. There is a particular thing we want to now. I actually suggested that topic that is what I got to maybe the oversight. You should have known that there's never a solution to a problem solved. People currently have this of this country. That is what they are doing. There is no sound mind. Sound mind is that people call powerful policies that economically.
Right.
Positively. Now, if we can do now, how to come together, major of a thing is very important. Because of this cause, you understand, the ethnicity, religion, and all that. I look at the people, we look at the people being removed.
All right. Round up.
Because it's actually religious and politics they are playing.
All right.
You can actually work 2027. We're going to have it now.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, Madam Swat, I speak to.
Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, lovely sister.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes, this is Davan Bushi.
Okay.
I have to please my brothers Lassie, Ka, and Daniel. You see, the sister of it is something that government know what to do when it comes to the issue of inflation. You know, I bought bag of semo after 7 home. I bought another one to do by every month. It keep increasing. It's $11 double.
Wow.
Everything double. Everything double. Everything double. Yo. I eat garri and semo and rice. That's it. I bought like 50,000 one bag. Not be 20 bag, 2,000 naira. And how is the salary? If you collect salary and buy a quarter bag, maybe that, and then you buy more. So before you pay for NEPA, you pay for transport for this. You don't finish. You can't even pay for. You can't buy clothes again. Government need to encourage skill industry. In 1980, this loan 1 million, they add like a 10,000, and the money for it. Because they want to give a loan now, they buy the whole loan. The big man, depending that control bill, and the person will store the home money or go and buy the unborn children and started opening the account, transferring the money to all those accounts. It's them that will still benefit from the money. They need to open our border again. Let's border. Right from the day Tinubu was that. Look at Nigeria that day. People will be like, we are not happy. And no, he says, how much subsidy today? How much is the rice today? Kill everywhere. Expensive. They need to do something. And then they should go and pay our fine. How can you have a crude oil and is it normal?
All right.
Who does that? I get water my home. I'll not pay my water inside one tanker to be like a Lokoja or Kaduna, clean the water and pay very expensive money and start selling it to people. What?
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we need to rise up.
All right.
We need to. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder Wabush, there for those comments. Let's read the messages that are piling up. I don't have any doubt in my mind that God the Almighty is the one speaking to this man. Oh no, this is a forward message. Okay. Good afternoon, Swat. Please face Mom Z. Let her come and give us breakdown of things in my case from Speckles from Guzape. Okay. Good afternoon, Swat. Please tell Selassie become so people can hear him. Grace from Irawa. Selassie knows that. Thank you, though. Hey, this one says, how long discussing same things daily yet no results? I'm tired of Nigerian problem. Daily on Nigerian football. What's the talk for? I'm tired of this country. Little. Labor leadership have shown why can't they go on strike for that ship in land? And adjust figurehead. I guess that's a word there. They know nothing about the economy and they basically yes, they constituted some of the Nigerian commodity. Things are rising every day. Okay, because they're getting everything free. The only Nigerian government understand or the Nigerian government understand is strike. But we have NLC that's not courageous. They're fighting only. You said imagine Nigerian here. And Nigerian government can't defeat. Imagine terrorists dropping their account number for villages. Nigerian army can't trace them. That's from Kosa is sending in. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Say Sally. Okay. One complaining. Hope this is not identity crime parade. It's not vintage country. This is not for me. I don't think so. All right. Hello, Swat. Elashinovic from Tama. I Aladeumi. It is a massive money to the 2-point-something supplementary budget. Yet our leaders are lying. Can't money build a refinery? Question. Good afternoon to you in the studio. My name is Puchi Bena. Protesting this problem because the government is not being considered. And this one says, we caught and send me the audio clip of what we did just now on inflation. And it first the exact same points I posted on just this morning that generated a debate. God bless super listener Charles Adwe. I cannot do that. I really am not. I don't have the capacity to do that. This is Chinelo. I thank you very much for doing enlightening us about the situation of God bless. I want to comment lastly for always. The serious problem I think in Anambra yesterday at 800 naira in Imo State 900. How are we going to be? It did everything only salt that is cheap in the market now. So we're trying to use of cash value to go high. Let the labor call for another to that until our refineries are put in. This government taking the masses. God bless Selassie and Booker. Thank you so much. Read this one from Stephen said Nigeria has no business with underdevelopment considering resources it has. Corrupt leadership is. Thank you very much. Nice job. Unfortunately, we have found ourselves here, but we have a dream to rise some days. Jethro from Musei. Thanks. Hello. Good afternoon.
Thank you. My calling from Jabi.
Okay.
The situation in Nigeria is very dangerous of any when you market or whatever, or the what have you. But one thing to remind people, by the present administration on the field campaign, did they come up with any policies what we are going to do in the next 2-3 months? This is our target of food items. 6 months, this is our target on referency. There is nothing like that. Up with the policy is our own time, is our own, and the president says, I am going to, which, yes, he has won the election. Any policy, so we should affect or not yet. He hasn't retained 1 year. The complaint for years is going to do him proper input to tell him the truth and the reiteration of Nigeria. They are not going anywhere. That is the because the truth is bitter. Anybody to tell him this today in Nigeria is his own enemy. But I prefer to be your own, telling you the fact you rest on ground when you give me appointment. It's fine. No, I am not doing it or listen to sway. But frankly, it's that each and every government when you went to the campaign, I want a Christian, they will give you a Bible that believes you are going to do some certain things. So if you are a Muslim, they will give you Quran. Saying that they normally used to say against him. That is why the president of those swaying of the previous government in Nigeria, because of bad leaders we put in front and the school groups that we all believe and we let them go. And it affects citizens that they didn't know. And that's why we found ourselves into insecurity. Food price is going up. Many things. My sister, we have a lot of problems in this country that we may be able, if we are going to come Nigeria into the game of access.
All right.
To come on quarter. It's going to take a long time for other people to step in, contribute their own, come what they are doing and do it very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abdul. Waliu Mansour Ade Swat. I think the president and his team are in areas of infrastructure and economy. He said, but the president needs to do more to make Ade from Kwali. Okay, Nigerians are now living in bondage of our leaders and upon. They don't have mercy obtaining division within us. G. Godwin. One said, Mwaz John Lasisi from G. Gubari are doing very well today. Economic being is being grounded now in the country. Because of PMS joke anymore, it's like Nigerian problem is beyond repair. The president and his team pull by the horn. Nigerians are tired of relief. That's what you said. Thank you so much, Mwaz John. See, Charles F. Young said, good day, Swat and his team should please settle down to work. Any effect of their leadership on the economy, and our leaders are going about as usual. God help Nigeria. Hello?
Hello, Swat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Oh, my name is Lawrence. I'm calling from
Okay.
Okay, Swat is obvious. I'm not really surprised about happening now because we said in the campaign 2023 general election, the APC, FCC, they were inviting them, but they refused to come. And still a kind of voted for that party when they know what is happening. And now they couldn't tell us what we do, but rather they did their job.
Oh, Lord, sorry about that. The line cut. We'll take back to round up on discussion. It's in Nigeria Info.
Let's get into the sunny with the FCT.